What's up, y'all? Kyle Hamilton here. I want to give a quick shout out to Lucas, Connor, and Ryan in the Week Zero podcast.
Jackson rolling out, 3rd and 7 after the penalty, and it's a completion to Kuma. He's still running. Kuma breaks free against a tired defense as the Hokies deliver the dagger here in Tallahassee. Empty look for Richardson. Oh, that is danger! Oh my! Keidron Smith cuts inside, and he's gonna pick six it in the swamp. Cat scratch fever Smith.
DJ is picked off, intercepted again by Benjamin Morrison. Here goes Morrison down the sideline. Can he go? Yes, he can. Touchdown, pick six, Benjamin Morrison. Nix drops back underneath. Touchdown, Ducks. Wow. Chase Taylor.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Week Zero podcast. We're finally back. How is everybody doing?
Good. Fantastic, man. We need a new god dang intro.
Get on Kyle about it.
We need a new
No,
intro.
I told Kyle to. I got to talk to you about that. By the way,
Okay. I'm doing 150 push-ups a day. I feel great.
Nice. That's good to hear, Josh. Sure, you look fantastic. If we could see you.
Yeah, if you could see me.
But I'm going to assume that you're lying, and that's why you're and you look nothing like what you're saying.
Okay, fine. Go look at my Twitter. I literally post the videos.
Yes,
all of them.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
I like the upside down one. That was my favorite.
Oh yeah, I might do some more of those. That was a total accident, but yeah, it worked out. It looks cool.
He was trying like his art house like version of push-ups. Just like, here, let me make this look fashionably, good and everything.
Artistic.
3 minutes into the show, and Connor is playing Madden. And
I'm playing BioShock. But
oh man,
there's nothing to talk about other than
It's okay. I'm playing Revamped on my other monitor.
So that's the big question, though: is will people still be playing Revamped when the new game comes out?
Yes, and I'll tell you exactly why. Because the new game is not going to be out on PC right away.
And the new game is also going to be based on Madden, which sucks. So just
a lot of people.
It's not going to be based on Madden. It's going to be its own. It's
going to have the same
engine. It's going to have the same engine. Anything.
It's going to have the same engine, so you're going to get the same like mechanics as Madden. You're going to get the abilities. You're going to get all that stuff, but it's just going to have different like interface basically.
The only thing is, I don't think Madden is really. I don't think Madden.
I like this Madden.
I don't think Madden is really as bad as people say now. I think what it is they pump out Madden so quickly, and the fan base, the NFL fan base, is so much more casual with their sport, and EA can get away with half-assing a game because people are gonna buy it anyway.
Have you seen Madden highlights?
So here's my thing about Madden, right? It was a better game back in the day. I think it started getting bad around Madden 16 is when it got bad.
Yeah.
But I do think that this Madden has been better than previous ones, than the past couple of previous ones. I still think to this day, NCAA 14 is the best football game EA has ever produced. I also think Madden 15, the year after, was the best Madden, but that's.
I'm a big Madden 07 guy. I think that's probably the best Madden I've ever played. But I'm confident with the new EA Sports college football game just because I think they have the right people working on it. They don't have just Madden people working on it. They brought back the old team that worked on NCAA 14. They brought the revamped guys, that did all that stuff, created it from the ground, did all the roster building, all the logos, all that stuff. They brought them on the staff. So I think that they've done all the right things. Plus, they've had 5-6 years to get this thing done in 5 years.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like Madden where they have to pump out a game every 9 months.
Yeah, but I just don't think that's much of an excuse for Madden, to be honest. Because I mean, if you look at it, if you look at like
COD, they were like, we're not going to we're not going to release a COD every year, and then they pump out Modern Warfare 3 with a absolutely terribly half-assed first-person story that pissed so many people off. That
well, for one, people don't play Call of Duty for the story, Connor. I'm sorry, but
well, I mean, it pissed off.
It would be nice to. It would be nice.
I'm not playing either. So
I'll say this: it would be nice to pay $60 or what is it, $70 now? It'd be nice to pay $70 for a game that's not just basically an online multiplayer pass.
well, it's that if you buy it on the wrong thing. If you buy it off Steam,
let's move on.
You buy it off Steam or the Xbox thing, then it's not good.
That's
But
really lost.
no, going back to the NCAA game, I think the first thing that stood out to me, there wasn't really anything too crazy, but I think the first thing that stood out to me was the fact that Notre Dame made an appearance. I think that's the thing that stood out to me the most, was that Notre Dame actually made an appearance, because they've obviously been talking about maybe not being in the game.
Okay, we've lost a bunch of people because we haven't been talking about this, so let's just move on. What are we talking about, Ryan? Ryan, you're muted.
Yeah.
My kid came in and I had to yell at her. Anyway, so I guess they're having a meeting, the College Football Playoff Committee, this week, about possibly fixing, like reworking all the rules and stuff about the 12-team playoff before the season gets started. And two of the biggest things that they're talking about is getting rid of the Pac-12s, which is basically the Pac-2s. They're auto bid because they're not a Power 5 conference as of right now. And then the second thing is they're thinking about expanding it to 16 teams.
They want to expand it again before they even played 12?
Well, I know this has already been signed through ESPN for like the next 6 years. So it would be after the 6-year contract is up, then we would start a 16-team playoff.
So 16. So, well, you'd have.
I don't mind it, but I think they're going to have to figure out something quick to match the National Football League, because they have like a perfect setup. Now they only have 14
I feel like it was better before they expanded to 7, but that's just me.
I like that 7th spot.
Up until this year, there hadn't been a 7th seed to win, and then of course the Packers beat the Cowboys, which is hilarious, but still. Anyway, the math would be that one thing that would be good from it is theoretically all the top 8 teams would each get a home game.
And every team would have to play. There would be no bye.
Yes, you don't get the bye.
I think they would most likely still give buys. It probably.
I feel like one thing those teams would want is to still host a playoff game at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like what I think they would do in that situation is they would give the top 6, maybe top 8 teams bye weeks, and then once the other 8 teams play, it's kind of like a wild card almost, and then the first round starts, and then those teams that got the first round bye.
The remaining 8.
The remaining 8 teams get to host the first round game. Kind of like it's like a wild card.
No, it wouldn't be the first 8.
Championship Super Bowl.
Wait,
what I'm curious.
No, that math doesn't work.
What I'm curious about, regardless of the math, regardless of all that stuff, what I'm curious about is why they think that there are 16 teams in any given season worthy of being in the playoff.
Not even worthy, just good enough to,
Because I don't think we've ever seen a season where 16 teams should be.
Like this year was probably the best, and even then there was probably 10, maybe not 8.
Oh, what?
There's
Liberty would have been 12.
There was 8. I think there was 9 deserving teams this last season.
You really think Ohio State was deserving?
Yes.
Oof.
They lost for 1 game, bro.
Mm. Yeah, and I still
To the
I don't
national
think I thought the
champions.
whole Big Ten was overrated.
Yeah, they lost to the national champions
and almost lost to a 3-loss Notre Dame team.
Yeah,
And
keyword
didn't.
almost.
And beat you guys at home.
Yeah, but they needed 10 men on the field to do it.
Well, they didn't
That's
need
your
10
fault,
men
not
on the
theirs.
field to march down the
That
field.
sounds like crappy coaching to me.
Hey,
man.
you know what?
That's-
Anyway,
That sounds
anyway,
like
we're gonna.
my point, my only question about the 16-team playoff is why? Is it because they want to give more power? Because one of the things people have talked about online is like, well, are they trying to get rid of the group of 5 auto bid?
What group of 5?
Huh?
There isn't a group of 5 anymore.
There is.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm tarded right now. I thought you said
thinking of the Power 5 all of a sudden.
I'm thinking of Power 5.
No, so like
Let me
it's
get
rumored that,
rid
like,
of my
people-
stroke face.
because there are people that think the group of 5 don't like the best group of 5 conference champion doesn't deserve an auto bid.
Yeah,
I'm
the
one of those
number 8,
people.
the number 8 team in the country beat the best group of 5 team by 40.
Yeah, but we've also seen teams like UCF, Cincinnati beat teams that
We also
If
saw
the
teams
12
like
UCF is not group of 5
Cincinnati,
anymore.
for instance,
Utah
Cincinnati,
beat
right?
Alabama and-
Cincinnati was
Boise
made to look
State.
like they don't belong.
Okay, but they also played Alabama. But I'm saying
And?
Cincinnati. Okay, look at this. Look at the 12-team playoff, right?
Mhm.
If we had the 12-team playoff back in 2021, when Cincinnati made it,
Okay.
Cincinnati had a win over the number 5 team in the country.
And
Notre Dame
Cincinnati
in
would have
South
been
Bend.
knocked out the first round.
But in a 4-team playoff. But in the 12-team playoff, they would have
In a
played Notre
12-team
Dame
playoff, they would have been knocked out in the first round.
You think Notre
They
Dame
would have
beats them
hosted.
if
They probably
played
would have
again?
hosted the home game. That probably would have given them at least a better chance.
You
I
think
still
Notre
they
Dame
would have
beats
been knocked out
Cincinnati
in the
again
first
if they
round.
play again in 2021 in the first round?
Yeah, I honestly think they probably wouldn't have played. I just honestly, yeah, they would.
I mean, and
been knocked
UCF
out.
beat an Auburn team that beat Bama that year.
Okay,
Yeah, but
hold on, a national championship UCF team,
Yeah.
Mhm.
13-0 national champs.
national champs
yeah,
UCF. Nice.
that is indeed true.
But I think the group of 5, they deserve an auto bid. I don't think they deserve to be in the top 4, but I think it gives them incentive to like play. I mean, otherwise it's like, what are we playing for at the group of 5 level? Especially with like NY6s being
What are you playing for at the Power 5 level? Look at Florida State.
well, they would have been in the
If you're-
12-team playoff. This
if
is
you're
why
not-
this fixes everything.
If you're not in the Big Ten or the SEC, why are you playing football?
But I think it's an agenda to get more Big Ten SEC teams in. That's what I think it is. I think,
I told you that's what it was.
yeah.
No, I told you that's what going to the 12-team playoff. Everyone thought
They're like,
it was
hey, we want
we're
want
gonna get
7 and
all these
5
crazy
Tennessee.
matchups
We
and
want-
stuff. No, it's just going to be more SEC Big Ten stuff.
you know what,
Yeah.
Josh? You know what we need? We need 7 and 5 Tennessee in the college football playoff in the 16
And they would probably beat undefeated Cincinnati.
They would romp undefeated Cincinnati. What do you mean?
Yeah. So,
and then they get
that's-
killed in the
Joe
second
Milton
round.
can throw the ball over them
Over them there mountain. That
them
big-
there mountains.
But
So-
no, I do think it's like you said, it's the agenda to get more Big Ten SEC teams in, which seems like they're the only two sides that are really pushing for this. But yeah, I mean, what do you guys think about it? You guys think it's too soon to even be thinking about it?
I also
I do.
don't think the ACC will exist within the next 6 years. By the
Oh,
time
the ACC is going to be fine. They're going to be a terrible
I think
conference, but they're going
Clemson.
to survive.
I honestly think like Virginia Tech, Clemson, Florida State, maybe not VT, but like Clemson, Florida State.
Florida State, Clemson, they're screwed. They're not going to be able to get out of that anytime soon with the rights deals. And I know Florida State is suing, but by law,
I don't know.
by law, Florida State is stuck in that contract because Florida State's whole argument is that they didn't understand the wording of the contract when they signed it back in 2014.
Well,
That's their fault.
I would stay right where I am if I was Florida State. Now that we're in the 12-team playoff, you're going to get to the playoff every season.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'd
stay right where you are.
I feel like they're justified just because of they got snubbed. They think they got snubbed.
They definitely
did.
They think they got snubbed.
They definitely got snubbed.
No.
They
undefeated
did.
conference champion should have been in a 14.
Nobody wanted to see that bloodbath.
It doesn't matter what anybody wanted to see. We can argue about this till the moon explodes.
I mean, Ryan,
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Ryan, put it to you this way, right? Put it to you this way. What if Florida State was a group of 5 team?
With their third-string quarterback?
Yeah.
Take them out of the NY
Still won their undefeated conference championship. Won all their games. Didn't matter who the quarterback was. Still won all their games.
They wouldn't have been the highest-ranked group of 5 team.
They would be.
Tulane was ranked ahead of Liberty for a long time, even though they had 1 loss.
Because they started right.
Yeah, well, guess who didn't have 1 loss?
For them.
But Liberty was undefeated.
So the idea of arguing for group of 5 auto bid, right?
Yeah.
That would just be.
But here's my thing, though. Let's talk about if we're talking about scenarios here. Right. Let's go to a team like Notre Dame. Do you think Notre Dame, if they would have won all of their games this year, they get over any of the top 4 this year?
An undefeated Notre Dame gets over.
Yeah.
They would have got over 12-1 Texas. They would have got in over Alabama.
Well, I mean, look at their accomplishments.
Why do you think that?
Because 12-0 Notre Dame team will never get left out purely because of the branding.
I will say this, Ryan.
Yeah.
I will say this. You better hope and pray, and I mean this for this next season. You better hope and pray. Louisville only loses to you guys and nobody else.
Dude, we could go 12-0.
Hope and pray.
You can go 12.
All of these soft, and I mean butter soft. It is Charmin soft.
We have 3 ranked teams on our schedule.
Brother,
I already told you what was going to happen.
You have 2 road games.
3. We have 3 true road games.
What's your 3rd true road game?
USC.
Against the Yankee Stadium.
USC.
That's where.
Hold on. USC. And at Georgia. Or wait, not at Georgia Tech. And then there's
You don't know. You don't.
There's one more.
Play at Georgia Tech.
At Purdue, yeah. There's 3 true road games.
You don't play at Georgia Tech.
We play Georgia Tech in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It's basically
Atlanta. That is not.
It's Atlanta. That's where Georgia Tech's
playing
from.
the Army at Yankee Stadium is a true road game then too.
That's a true road game. I count that as a true road game because it's in Atlanta.
You see what you did there? Those are technicalities, and it's not.
It's like when Oregon goes to play Georgia in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, but it's a neutral site. And it's in Georgia. That is
a neutral site.
Come on, man. That's a
neutral site. You're gonna have just as many fans there as they will.
When you're gonna have 75% of the crowd rooting for Notre Dame.
What at Atlanta?
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But no, if you guys think a 12-0 Notre Dame team is ever going to get left out of a 12-team playoff,
you're not going to be a top 4 team.
Ryan, I already told you what was going to happen. You guys are going to go 11-1.
Nope,
you're going to go to the college football game. You're going to go to the college football playoff, and you're going to
be like the 7 or 8 seed. You're going to
lose to a Big Ten team.
No, we don't lose at home. We don't lose at home.
We won't be at home because you're going to be a low seed.
No, 7. If you get in the 5, 6, 7, 8, you get a home playoff game.
You say that you don't lose at home to a Big Ten team, and yet we all bore witness to one such game.
Yeah, that's true.
Season.
Okay, but Notre Dame has one of the best home records in college football over the last 10 plus years.
That's not true.
It is true. We had one of the longest winning streaks.
Okay.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You just don't.
We,
You
but
know,
anyway,
you're not going to stand for this.
I don't know why you guys think that. We're going to breeze through this schedule and we're just going to lose round one.
Because
You act
it's
like
a
we're going to lose
butter-soft
to
schedule.
9-3
It
Michigan.
is a butter-soft schedule, dude.
Yeah, and you know what helps with having a butter soft schedule like we saw with Michigan in
I'm
the
telling you,
playoff?
Ryan,
You have
better
less
hope and
attrition
pray that
because you
Louisville
get to sit
doesn't
out
come up there.
half the games.
You know what
your
Michigan
starters get
did,
to ride
You
the
better hope
bench.
and pray. You better hope
You know what
and pray
Michigan
that Louisville
did?
doesn't come up there
They
and ruin your
only
season.
just beat.
If Michigan had to play 6 ranked
All right.
teams in 8 weeks, they would not be undefeated.
Brother.
They did.
They didn't play 6 straight ranked. They didn't play 6 ranked opponents in 8 weeks.
They played 5.
I'm saying in 8 consecutive weeks, not with we got a month off because of the playoffs.
Let me roll my eyes even harder. You got 2 bye weeks, dog. Just calm
we
down.
got 3 actually, technically.
Oh yeah,
we get,
Are we
people
on Phil's channel because I don't think any of them want to hear about you talking about.
This isn't on Phil's channel.
But anyway,
channel.
My point is, even if we don't get a first round bye because we can't get anyway, it doesn't really matter because if we get the 5 through 8 seed, right? We don't play conference championship weekend anyway, so we basically get a bye week anyway. So what's incentivizing Notre Dame to be like, hey,
lower your
expectations. Join a conference.
Lower those expectations.
Stop being a Cowboys fan and thinking that this is your year when it's not.
Hey, I said it. Notre Dame's going to win the national title this year. It's going to happen.
I will bet you $1,000 right now they don't.
I'm not betting $1,000. I'll bet you 100. I'll bet you 100.
That just shows you're not confident enough.
No, because I'm not dumb. That's the.
So
you're.
I'm not going to bet $1,000. No, Notre Dame, like you guys.
So somehow you're not stupid enough to.
Right, our
do
defense is going to be top 3 in the nation.
Riley
Leonard.
So.
Your defense has been top 3 in the nation. Your defense has been.
Yeah, and now we have an offense
for so long.
You don't, though. You thought you did last year.
I never said we had an offense last year. I said we had.
That is so cap.
No.
I will go back.
Go back and clip
All right.
it. I said Jared Parker is unproven as an offensive coordinator because he had never been an OC before.
It didn't matter. You were glazing Sam Hartman like he.
Yeah, and Sam Hartman was ass.
Money. And you.
Sam Hartman didn't have NFL draft scouts saying he was a first round draft pick.
We were trying to tell you that.
NFL scouts love Riley Leonard.
NFL scouts love Riley Leonard. They love him so much. You know who else they loved? Jamarcus Russell. You know how that turned out?
Hey, you know what? Did Jamarcus Russell have the best offensive coordinator with him?
Notre Dame does not have the best.
Mike Denbrock had the number 1 offense last year in the country.
No, he's not. He's not better. He didn't have a better scoring and.
Yeah, he did. LSU had the number 1 scoring offense.
Scoring and yards per game and passing yards per game.
Who had the Heisman Trophy winner?
All right, guys. All right.
The team that lost.
It started off. We were talking about like the 12-team playoff.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get into it.
And yet again, as with everything, it's somehow.
Hey, Lucas asked about Notre Dame.
Lucas did.
Don't do that.
Let's not do it. Good Lord.
Anyways, let's get into the second part of this because this is a big thing. Is Oregon State and Washington State, right? The Pac-2. A big reason why they're having this board meeting is because the playoff committee is trying to force Oregon State and Washington State to give up that bid, which legally they don't have to because they signed this contract. And since they are still technically the Pac-12, they've asked them nicely to, hey, you guys don't have a conference right now.
For this season. And that's
for this season. Yeah, you guys don't have a conference right now. There's only 2 of you. Would you be okay with giving up and relinquishing the right to your auto bid?
No.
Oregon State's Washington. Nah. Why would we give it up?
I so just want to see like a 6-6
Oregon State team.
Oregon State, and that just pisses Lucas off so much seeing such a bad team in the playoff.
They'll set the record.
I'd be stoked for it because they would get murdered by the team that they play.
Oh man.
Oregon State or Washington State would hold the record for the most consecutive.
Also,
playoff
Washington State
appearances.
would definitely get in over Oregon State. I'm telling you that right
Really? You
Yeah.
think so?
now.
Oh yeah.
Oregon State has nobody. They lost everyone.
But how I look at it is like if I'm Oregon State and I'm Washington State, I'm like, why should I give up my my right to my auto bid?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then like,
No shot.
I will say this: you don't crap where you eat, guys. You
They
just
could
don't
both-
do it.
They could both go 3-8, and the winner of the game between each other goes to the college football playoff. Like,
You
let
don't-
that sink.
Wait,
You don't
did they
shit where
technically
you
join?
eat,
Did they
I'm
technically
telling you.
join the Mountain West? for
no,
both?
they're independents for the next 2
They're
seasons.
fully independents.
Yeah.
But they still get that auto bid.
Yeah.
Who are they even playing though? Like
they play a Mountain West schedule.
Each other.
Basically,
okay, so they're
Mountain West schedule,
honorary
but-
members.
Oregon State does play Oregon though, so they have that. They're gonna lose that game.
Your cats are just all over your.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
I just see a dog getting up on a couch, and then I just see a bunch of cats just.
Dude,
climbing
no.
up.
You know what I'm here to see?
Sounds like-
We got an 0-11 Oregon State versus 0-11 Washington State. The winner
Not
gets in the
gonna happen.
playoff.
That'd be hilarious. That would actually happen. That'd be.
All right, let's look at Oregon State's schedule. So they started out with Idaho State at home. They have San Diego State and San Diego. They
Sick.
play at home against Oregon. They play at home against Purdue. They play at California. Then they play at home against Washington State. Then their next 3 games are away against Boise State, Air Force, Nevada. And then their next 3 games are at home, Colorado State, San Jose, UNLV. Actually, they don't have those games. Wait. So they have the first 6 games.
The other
on their
ones haven't been, the exact dates haven't been released yet.
Yeah, the first 6 have been released. The last 6 have not. But they don't have that's not a hard. I mean, or it's not an easy schedule, really, as far as like Mountain West goes. I mean, they have to play on the blue turf at California, that I think is actually going to be a decent team this year.
You think Cal's going to be good?
I didn't say good.
He said decent.
California, Boise State, Air Force, obviously they've been good the past couple of years. Oregon, obviously, San Diego State could be deep. Now San Diego State's gonna be dog shit because they don't have their quarterback. Also, is he gonna be the starting quarterback for the fucking? Didn't he go to Georgia?
Who? No.
Carson Beck is gonna be there. Where'd he go? Oh, he went to LSU, didn't he?
He committed to Georgia, then decommitted, and he went to USC.
Oh, that's right.
USC. Yeah.
Washington State has Portland State, Texas Tech, Washington, San Jose State, Oregon State, San Diego State, Boise State, Fresno State, Jesus State, Utah State,
All the states.
New Mexico, Hawaii, and Wyoming. So they play
Oregon and Washington really did Washington State and Oregon
5,
State favors by
6.
still playing them, huh?
They play 7 state teams.
Washington State does.
Yeah, Portland State, San Jose State, Oregon State, San Diego State, Boise State, Fresno State, and Utah State.
Welcome to the state conference.
Fresno and San Diego aren't states.
Yeah, what the hell, man?
The Mount. Actually, you
I'm
know
not
what? They
gonna
need to
tell
change the Pac-12 and the Mountain West and just
Portland
call it
isn't a state
the
either.
Pac of states. There you go.
Based on what you said about it,
Boise's also not a state.
sounds like you
Half
want
of these
it.
teams aren't
Yeah,
states.
Boise's not a state either. Half of these state teams are just cities.
Utah is in fact a state.
Utah is a state. Oregon is a state.
Yep.
San Jose is also not a state. So Oregon and
Portland's
Utah,
not a state.
Oregon and Utah are the only actual states on here. That's interesting. They should have played New
Hey.
Mexico State.
Yeah.
Yeah, New Mexico. Yeah. That's a state.
But all right, let's get into our awards because we got that finally done. Me and Lucas got that finished.
Yeah, dude. That was I started out by doing like all the stats and stuff, and then I was like, this is a waste of my time. They just want
It really was.
Hey, you know, we got over 200 followers doing that. So
oh yeah, we did. We actually got quite a bit. Probably I
we
would
went
say
from
from
one,
the
we
start
went
of
from
it,
160 to over 200.
I was gonna say probably from the start of that we got like at least 50. I would say 50 followers.
All right, so starting off, we got the Week 0 podcast best quarterback. We're just gonna kind of go through these and then get your guys' thoughts. If you agree with the pick or not.
Are you gonna give the nominees?
Oh shit! God damn it!
It's probably
No, just
Nah.
Nah, it's too. It's,
Nah,
it's,
They
don't do
didn't
the
win,
nominees.
so why do we talk about them?
That's true.
Anyway, Bo Nix is the Week 0 podcast quarterback of the year.
Checks out.
I know Lucas agrees. I agree with this. Josh, Connor, do you agree with this?
I find it hilarious because then Jaden Daniels won. Did he win like offensive player of the year or something?
Yeah.
So, and he also won the Heisman. But
It's like
this
the
is
NFL.
This is just all the Oregon fans just coming in and giving it to Bo.
It's like the NFL. All right. CMC was offensive player of the year, but Lamar won the MVP. Okay, so
Good,
That's
good job, Bo.
That's fair, I guess.
Good job.
yeah, I would like an apology from Josh Bryant because when
Actually,
he
you
came
know
to
what?
Oregon,
You know what? Bo Nix only won because he's never faced adversity ever.
You know
Yeah,
what,
that's
Lucas?
He's
not
never
as much
faced
adversity
real
as Shooter
adversity.
Sanders.
Lucas, I want Bo Nix so bad on my Broncos, but just because
You're gonna
Josh
take
ran his
JJ
mouth.
McCarthy and you're gonna like it.
No, hold on. Just because Josh ran his mouth and called him no Nix for the last 2 years,
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
hope
Where's his
the-
championship ring?
I hope
He's
I
got
hope the
Where's he-
Steelers.
yes,
Has
draft
he
him.
won a conference championship?
he has 3 championship rings actually.
Has he won a conference championship?
He has the Holiday Bowl championship. He has the Fiesta Bowl championship, and I'm pretty sure he. What was it like the
You guys
Reliant
raised the
Quest Bowl
banners for that. I'll
championship?
tell you that right now.
I mean, when's the last time Kentucky won anything of
Ooh.
relevance? So
Ooh.
I mean, that's my
Oh.
question.
Oh my gosh. Oh man, I guess our trophy cabinet's just empty, isn't it? It's
I would say
empty.
so.
Hey, you
No,
know
it's
what's crazy, guys, is I didn't think about this till now. If JJ goes to the Broncos and
It's
God,
a bunch of Citrus Bowl trophies.
I hope to God.
Much as
Hold on, I hope to God that Bo goes to the Steelers. So Josh
No,
can watch
no.
Bo
If
Nix.
Bo Nix goes
no,
to the Steelers, I'll be happy.
no,
Oh.
no.
But anyway, what's funny is that if
No,
Bo
no,
Nix
no.
goes to the Steelers, JJ to the Broncos, Will Levis is already with Lucas's Titans. We've all just swapped quarterbacks. Basically.
We need Sam Hartman to go to the Ravens.
Yes.
Sam Hartman to the Ravens.
Or signing and book to your practice squad.
I was about
Harbaugh
to say,
only-
He doesn't.
if
The
Sam
problem is
Hartman-
none of those guys fit. Maybe Jaden Daniels, but
Harbaugh only likes fast black quarterbacks. Let's be honest.
no. He
Trace
used to
McSorley
really
counts.
tall. He used to like tall white
He
quarterbacks.
sorely counts.
Trace McSorley counts as a fast black guy.
He does. I mean, he's got the song and everything. It's just meant to be.
All right. Anyways,
Throw it on
next
the ground
up,
like
we
I
got
need to try.
Sick.
the Week 0 podcast award for the best running back in the country.
This is
And
where all the Notre Dame fans.
Roderick
Take a
Estime.
victory lap, why don't you?
I took a
This is all the
say-
Notre Dame fans because it really
I will
should
say
have been.
some of these I went back on a lot of these to see what our nominees were. And it was such an unorganized podcast that towards and some points I was just like, screw it, I'm just gonna add guys. And unfortunately I added too many Notre Dame guys and Ryan just his fans flooded. So there's gonna be a lot of there's a lot of Notre Dame winners.
The rule was we could each only nominate 2 of
I
them.
only nominated 2 guys.
No,
Yeah,
I
I nominated some for Ryan just because I felt that they fit the part, like Joe Alt and like Xavier Watts, stuff like that.
But yeah, Roderick
Anyways.
Estime by far the
No
best
Kentucky
running back in
guys,
college
'cause-
football.
I do feel bad about the kick return one. We'll get to that. But
yeah, Josh is we'll give Josh his rant
Yeah,
on
Josh
that.
wanted to kill somebody.
This is, and I will
That's your
take
fault,
partial
Josh, for not being
responsibility,
here.
but y'all should have known better. And that's
By
my
the way,
fault. I didn't educate you.
Can we talk about how sick these graphics are?
they look good. Yeah, they're like
They do look great.
magazine
Not
covers.
gonna lie, like that one, sick. Love it.
Yeah. Anyways, next up, the Week 0 podcast award for the best wide receiver wasn't really going to be anybody else but Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't think so.
No,
I know Malik Neighbors. I believe actually this was kind of a close race. Him and Neighbors.
it was. It went to overtime.
Yeah, neck and neck. But just like in the normal Bolitnikov voting, Marvin Harrison Jr. won out. You guys agree with this, or do you guys think it should have been Neighbors?
I picked Neighbors. I think
did
he's the
Neighbors,
better. I think he's the better
He's
receiver.
statistically better. That's why I chose him.
So here's I also picked Neighbors, but I could see the argument for Harrison Jr. here. It's just like Neighbors got thrown to a lot because of the style of offense and the caliber of quarterback he had. For Marvin Harrison Jr. to put up these numbers with
Honda McCord.
Yeah. And that now don't get me wrong, Kyle McCord is a winning quarterback.
Yeah.
Dude's not bad. He's
just not Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, I mean, he's not Jaden Daniels. He's not.
He's going to win a lot of games next year.
Oh, yes, he will. I believe that. But, he's not really an elite quarterback, at least not to the standards of Ohio State.
All right. Next up, we got Week 0 podcast best tight end. I was actually kind of surprised that Brock Bowers won it.
Why?
Just because of the injury. But
yeah, but even with the injury, like those stats were ridiculous. So I had to add him on here, obviously. Yeah. We didn't nominate him, but I felt it would be an injustice.
Well, I think we did it because Josh wasn't here, and we all thought that that's who he was going to pick. So he just kind of left the obvious ones for him.
Yeah.
But those stats are ridiculous, even with his injuries. Like 700 yards, 6 touchdowns as a tight end in college football is pretty crazy.
Wall missing 3 games due to injury.
Yeah.
Yeah. He would have probably had 1,000 yards.
God, I hope to sweet baby Jesus, if Joe Alt is picked before the 7th overall pick, Brock Bowers better be a tight.
Dude, I've seen there's been a couple mock drafts that came out today. One had Brock Bowers falling all the way to the Broncos. The other one had him going number 5 to the Chargers. So I mean, he's all.
You better go to the Titans if we don't get Joe Alt. And if we draft J.C. Latham, I'm going to burn every Titan.
Dude, if you go J.C. Latham over Joe Alt,
dude,
bust written all over him.
Well, I mean, you definitely should know. You guys did take Isaiah Wilson, so
I don't understand why
under a different.
Why more teams don't just say, "Hey, there's a Notre Dame offensive lineman in here, right? Why don't we draft him?" Because
well, he's going to get picked top 5 probably.
Yeah. What is it? You guys would say Ronnie Stanley, Quentin Nelson, or top?
They're really good. Yeah. I mean, Ronnie Stanley is probably a top 5 tackle in the league right now.
He fucking sucks. He actually is. He Ravens fans want him gone, a lot of them, because the injury they suffered back in 2020 has literally turned him to an old fucking man that can't block. He got beat so bad he was the one who allowed the fumble the strip sack of Lamar.
No, what? Actually, no, I take that back.
Oh, so
Mike
McGlinchey Stanley's on Pfizer's payroll.
Mike McGlinchey might be the worst Notre Dame offensive lineman in the NFL.
Mike McGlinchey? No, he is not. The right guard for the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, Banks?
Body.
Aaron Banks? Yeah. That's why he was a 7th round pick.
Terrible.
Anyways, next up, we got, speaking of Joe Alt, Week 0 podcast award for the best offensive lineman. Looks like he's going to be a future Titan. So I mean,
if we get Olu Fasano or whatever the fuck his name is, the guy from Penn State, I'll be happy. Just either him or all. Please.
I think either one of them are going to be all pro tackles for sure.
But we can move on from this. We've been talking about offensive line for a minute. All
right, next up we got your boy, best offensive line as a whole unit. Oregon, obviously. I know this was mainly because Lucas's Oregon buddies voted up the wazoo for Jackson Powers Johnson. So
deserved. I think JPJ is going to be
he's going to be a monster. Yeah,
he's going to be the steal of the draft. A lot of scouts have him as a top 10 guy, but for whatever reason, like mock drafts don't have him going very high in the first round. I think he's going to be a steal.
Yeah, I think this is one of the best offensive line drafts in a long time.
The only problem with Jackson Powers Johnson is he's like kind of small, but he is a center, so he can afford to be small.
All right, next up, another Oregon player. What a shocker! Our best offense for 2023. We start a podcast award for best offense goes to the Oregon Ducks.
This one makes sense.
Yeah. 346.9 passing yards per game, led the nation. Was second in the nation in points per game, only behind LSU. Had a Heisman candidate in Bo Nix, an Outland Award finalist in Jackson Powers Johnson, and a Biletnikoff Award finalist in Troy Franklin.
Cool.
Yes, sir. Go Ducks. And we kept our offensive coordinator. It's a fucking miracle.
All right. The Week 0 Podcast Award for the best offensive freshman of the year. Who else was it going to be other than Noah Fafita?
Yeah, who else was it going to be, honestly? He went crazy.
I mean, dude
he started to week 3 or 4?
3,
yep.
I think.
Yeah, I remember that very first game against, I think it was USC. He threw like 5 touchdowns. I missed my player of the week even though they lost.
Yeah.
And then he just kept it up. I think Arizona is maybe a sneaky little dark horse in the Big 12 next year.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, they don't have Jeff Fish anymore, so I kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it'll also be interesting to see how the move will affect them. Obviously, with playing teams they're not used to playing, so we'll see.
I did also want to say shout out to Noah Fafita's dad, who liked our post.
Yes.
And shout out to the Arizona fan base. Lucas didn't tell me that Arizona fans are nuts on Twitter. 13K views. I believe it was the most liked graphic that we've done. That's crazy.
I don't mess with those. I don't talk to Arizona fans. I don't know. I'm so busy like pulling USC fans' heads out of their ass and getting shit on by Washington fans to even, pay attention to any other.
Yeah, didn't you yourself say that if you guys played Arizona this year, you guys would have lost?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I said that.
You really think that? Wow, that's
I really do think that. You look at history. What have we done against Arizona teams in December? We fucking lose.
I would have been especially worried if you had played them at Arizona. I just get that image of that Scooby Wright. Scooby Wright
tossing it back in and
yes, yeah. I think that even though I'm not an Oregon or Arizona fan, that play lives rent free in my head.
Yep.
All right, next award, Week 0 Podcast Best Defensive Lineman in 2023 goes to Notre Dame defensive lineman Howard Cross. Is was actually projected to be a first, second round pick this year. Decided to come back for his final year. He was Pro Football Focus's number 1 overall rated defensive lineman this past season. So it was kind of well deserved.
66 tackles as a D tackle is insane.
Yeah, he's as weird as he's undersized for a D lineman. I think he's like 275, 280. But they said he's just so unstoppable. It's like
Aaron Donald is super.
I was gonna say I don't know why, but that just the way he looks gives me Aaron Donald vibes. But I don't want to bloat
Yeah.
or make Ryan's ego go massive right now with hope.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we got the Week 0 podcast best defensive line. Who else was it going to be besides Michigan?
National champions.
National champs.
Of course.
The best defense in the country.
Of course.
Led by Mason Graham, who Phil thinks is the best defensive lineman in the country. Guy who won Rose Bowl defensive MVP.
You know what I just realized? We should have done an award for best transfer of the year. Player that did the best at.
We did last year. I completely forgot about it.
We should have done that. I just realized that. Best offensive and defensive transfers. I feel like we should have done something like that. I just thought of that.
My nominee would be Tez Johnson, who went crazy.
All right, next up, the Week 0 podcast. Best defensive back goes to Cam Hart from Notre Dame. 0 touchdowns allowed. Was a big reason why Notre Dame had the number 5 ranked defense in college football and the number 1 pass efficiency defense, and was named to the Athletics Freaks list in 2023. Nice. Another Notre Dame guy. Next up, this one I like to see because we gave Lucas and me like to give some shout outs to smaller school guys. Tyrese Knight, who's going to be most likely a 2nd round draft pick, if not slide into that late 1st round. Won the best linebacker award for the Week 0 podcast in 2023. Was a 2023 PFF All-Conference All-American First Team. Was a 2023 Butkus Award watch list. 15.5 tackles for loss and 140 total tackles, 4th best in the nation.
The Texas Western uniforms are killer.
Those UTEP like throwback unis are.
Oh yes. Oh right. I always forget UTEP is Texas Western.
Yeah.
And I always think of Glory Road, the movie about the basketball team that beat Kentucky.
Josh is
just like, I'm not impressed right now.
No, yeah, that was Texas Western.
It was Texas Western.
That was
First
right.
All Black starting
a bunch of stuff that they say happened in that movie didn't happen, but okay.
Well, I mean, it's a movie that's going to have some fake stuff thrown in, but I mean,
you
like
didn't
the
have to
Side. Every
make Rupp look like a
racist
because it wasn't.
Like were they in Rudy, where they said the entire stadium cheered for Rudy?
Yeah, that didn't happen. I know that didn't happen.
I don't think neither did the whole giving the jerseys to the coach.
That actually didn't happen.
No.
Didn't or did?
Didn't.
But anyway.
Okay.
Next
but those
up,
are nice. So wait, what award was that for again?
Best linebacker in the country.
Nice. I'm surprised Payne Wilson didn't win.
He came in second. I
gave it to Wilson because he was pretty much a unanimous All-American. So,
all right, the Week 0 podcast award for the defensive freshman player of the year goes to who else than Caleb Downs, safety from Alabama, now
at Ohio State.
The Ohio State Buckeyes. 107 total tackles, 2 interceptions, 70 solo tackles. Tallied 1 forced fumble and recorded 3.5 tackles for loss, and was voted the SEC Freshman of the Year in 2023.
You know who he reminds me of?
Who?
Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton, dude. That guy was insane.
Are you afraid of saying the name?
Clinton Dix.
Clinton Dix.
Clint and Dix. No, my buddy and I, we've always called him Hillary Clinton. For whatever reason.
That's kind of funny.
But I remember, dude, I kind of miss that guy. That brings back some memories. He was
Clinton Dix, the name most likely to be in a Key and Peele sketch.
Yes.
All right, next up, we got the award for the best overall defense in college football. Who else was it going to go to besides Michigan?
It shouldn't have been no surprise, but
yeah.
Yeah.
This was actually a tie, and it went to overtime twice, actually.
Ohio State, right?
Yeah. Ohio
Wow.
State fans and Michigan fans were going back and forth in the voting. So, yeah. Led by Will Johnson, Michigan national champs, had the best defense in the country. So no surprise that they won that. But this one was my favorite award.
Yes. Who else? Who else?
Who else was he going to go to?
I was. This was my nomination. I remember nominating this guy.
Yeah. The Week Zero podcast best punter. Gotta shout out our punters, especially a guy that was the MVP of the Iowa Hawkeyes this past season.
How many did he have? 8. That was 93 total punts. Is that what that says?
Most in the FBS. And it actually wasn't close. So the second guy had I think 78.
93 punts.
I remember when I had him as my player of the week because he set a record with 500 punt yards in a game.
93 punts, and they still went 9-4.
Yeah.
They
no,
had
10-3. 10-3.
Or 10-4. They won
10 games. 10-4. Yeah, 10-4.
That's so stupid. That's so stupid.
You know what? He's punted. What's crazy is he punted for more yards than Iowa had total offensive yards.
Yeah,
I believe that.
I mean, he probably punted for more yards than about 100 of the teams in all of college football.
Yeah, I mean, he punted for more yards than fucking Bo Nix threw for.
Because I mean, like Jaden, Jaden. I don't even think Jaden had maybe 5,000 total yards rushing and passing. Maybe a little.
You know what?
I think he had
take Torrey Taylor off the Iowa Hawkeyes. What's their record?
They gotta have there's at least one more loss in there.
At least one or two more losses because he was just flipping the field like crazy. Like I remember looking at some of his things and like he was just. That the game where he had like the 500.
Man, one of those losses shouldn't have been a loss.
Oh, the one where they got the kickback, the
punt.
Yeah, dude.
Ridiculous.
Bullshit punt return that wasn't
ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember that. That was crazy.
All right.
Anyways.
Next up, or as we go by Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of a joke, but I'm surprised they actually won.
All the VT fans just came out the woodwork and started voting for John.
All of a sudden, yeah.
I actually really wanted Bashul Tootin to win too.
Bashul Tootin for kick returner.
Yeah,
Connor, I can tell you now because it happened a couple weeks ago. But I went to the store, and for those of you who don't know, I live in Louisville, Kentucky. Quite a long way from Blacksburg. And there was a guy, and I'm not kidding, head to toe VT gear. Head to toe on his socks, dude.
Okay, that's a level that's a Ryan level of commitment right there.
I was like,
yeah.
I mean, there's still plenty of people I'll run into VT. Obviously, it's just like any other college. You're running into VT fans everywhere.
We actually had the Virginia Tech. They were it was like the ski team or whatever the hell at my airport last winter. It was like the ski snowboarding team or some shit. It was like a bunch of college.
Yeah, dude. When I was flying home from the I can't remember where I was going. I think I was going to Kentucky to see my mom. When I was flying home, I was flying back with the Louisville volleyball team because I guess they were headed to a match, and they were annoying as shit.
Okay, we were talking about Virginia Tech.
We were talking about
all right,
we were talking about.
Let's move on.
All right.
Ryan's over here yo, these people on my plane would not shut up.
Yeah, right. Just randomly. All right, here's where Josh can go on his soapbox about the return.
All right, I will say this: he's got more return yards. That's about it.
He also won the award in college football for the best return specialist.
Snubbed, dog. Snubbed. Absolutely snubbed.
What did Tootin finish? Did he finish second?
Yeah, I believe so.
Man.
Josh, if you would have been
Look,
there, we would have
okay,
had Barryon Brown on this list.
Barry Brown is a sophomore, so he's going to have more opportunities. Had 3 kick return touchdowns, all were 100 yards. He even called his kick return touchdowns. It's just ridiculous. Like, the only reason why he didn't get so many kick return yards is because they didn't kick it to him.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Well, who do you guys think is a better player,
award.
Zachariah Branch or Barryon Brown?
What's that?
Oh man, that's a close one. I think Zach probably has a higher upside.
I will say this: Barry Brown is faster.
Oh, probably.
Oh, you bite that.
Dude, I bet you it's close. I bet you it's pretty damn close. Zach Branch is pretty fucking fast.
Bro, I'm telling you.
I bet you it's pretty close. I think Zach. I mean, Zach is
really
obviously going to get more love and he's going to get more eyes because of where he's
he
at,
will.
but
He'll play in more.
he's also
games.
a freshman, so
Okay. Well, good for him. You know, he did win the award. Let's not take that away from him.
All right. Next up, the Week Zero Podcast Offensive Player of the Year. Who else was it really going to go to besides Jaden Daniels? 40 passing touchdowns, second most in the entire nation. Had the 5th most passing yards in college football at 3,812, and recorded 10 rushing touchdowns, along with 1,180
Holy shit!
yards.
The Iowa punter had 600 more punt yards than Jaden Daniels had passing yards.
yeah,
Sick.
awesome.
Do you think Jaden Daniels is gonna put this award next to his Heisman?
Yes,
No, he's gonna have it above his Heisman.
He's gonna, you know what he's gonna do?
Above his Heisman?
He's gonna print, take a picture of this. He's gonna print it out, put it in the plaque, put it above his Heisman, like looking down upon his Heisman because it's that much more.
yes.
He's gonna position it to where his head's looking at the Heisman Trophy from this angle.
All right,
Oh
we
man!
have one person in there. We've lost everybody.
All right, cool. Let's keep it moving.
Yep.
I
Week
think we're
Zero
cutting after
Podcast
these.
Defensive Player of the Year goes to the guy that won the Bronco Nagurski Award, which goes to the best defender in all of college football, Xavier Watts. 7 interceptions, tied for most in college football. Had 0.5 interceptions per game that led the country. Was a former wide receiver and the 2023 Bronco Nagurski Award winner. Yeah,
Sick. He's very good at football.
very
Moving on.
good.
Yeah, that's me.
Hey, what's up? All right.
All right, finally.
Yeah,
We're on
I'm
the
so
win.
glad I put him on here.
The Week
I was-
Zero Podcast
great.
Coach of the Year, Coach Drink, won 11-2 this past year, including a win over number 7 Ohio State in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl. Led Missouri to their first 10-plus win season since 2014 and their first NY6 win since 2014. Won 2023 SEC Coach of the Year as well.
Yep.
Any dispute here?
Nope.
Absolutely not. I love it.
Evidently, Josh thinks they're going to fall off a cliff.
Yeah.
Josh
I don't think
also
it'd be that bad, but
he also thought that Bo Nix was bad at football, but
Okay, but hold on. Let's. Okay, I was right about Tennessee.
you were right about Tennessee.
I was right about Florida.
By the way, Lucas, we need to go find that video
Right about South
of our
Carolina.
SEC predictions and delete that shit.
Yeah, you guys need to.
It's not
Like,
my fault. It's not my fault. If Heupel was a smart person,
playoff this year.
if
Tennessee's gonna
Heupel
win
was
the
a
SEC,
smart,
guys.
listen.
Joe
if
Milton's
Heupel-
going all the way, boys. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna fucking mute your ass. If Heupel was a smart person, Nico Lamala would have been the starter. He would have been the starter from day one.
He might get suspended by the NCAA.
then even better, I would have played him all year last year. Why is Joe Milton throwing the football? He is so bad.
But Joe Milton was the savior. What are you talking about?
Hey, remember
He
everyone?
can throw the
Everyone
football over
hyping
them
up.
their mountains.
Remember when everyone outside the SEC was hyping up Joe Milton?
Hey,
Hendon
remember
Hooker
when
have
I told
another
you guys
season?
Joe Milton in a Josh Heupel offense just means more interceptions?
Didn't Hendon Hooker have another season of eligibility?
No,
No.
Oh, I swore he did.
Nope.
If they had Hendon Hooker this year,
Shout out Cam McCormick.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, boys. Well, that's the Week Zero
we
Podcast
had no
Awards.
topics. We had any topics to talk about. We still went over an hour. We have a special ability to bullshit about anything.
I will say one thing. Hold on. I'll just one thing. LSU running back Trey Holly has been arrested on felony charges for attempted second-degree murder.
Attempted second-degree murder.
Yep.
Oh yeah, good for him.
That's it.
Josh, you know what time it is.
We're back.
W Energy. It's actually really good. It's all made from coffee fruit extract. I'm telling you, it gets me going in the morning. Really gets gears turning.
Hold up, coffee as a
they're
fruit?
They're starting a paid partnership, and I'm gonna say until those checks start rolling in, we're
moving over to Boost Mobile.
Boost
Shout
Mobile,
out,
man.
shout
No,
out, Phil.
Mint Mobile.
No,
Oh,
anyways,
it's Mint Mobile.
okay.
That was Boost.
All right. I do have to say one thing. W.GG is their website. You go there, you order, you put whatever you want in your cart. And you're like, oh, well, what tastes good? Everything they have tastes good. They're actually going to be rolling out some canned energy drinks coming up. Carbonated and canned. That's going to be good. I can't wait for that. But for real, use code WEEK0 at checkout. Get you 10% off your entire order. And it just lets them know we sent you. So, W Energy, be better.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, for Josh, for Lucas, I'm guessing that 191 more days is until college football starts.
Yes, sir. August 24th.
Yeah.
Week 0.
For Ryan, for myself, belated birthday boy. This has been the Week 0 podcast.